Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew Dracy, and I'm back. I had mentioned on the previous episode that I had accidentally deleted a bunch of videos. I don't know how it happened, but it was starting to delete videos off my channel, and I freaked out, and somehow I stopped it. So I will be redoing a lot of those episodes, but I'll be, I'll be threading it with new episodes. I have a video where I mentioned the greatest anniversary comic of all time, which, in my opinion, was Justice League of America number 200. And I give a lot of reasons why. It has George Perez and Gary Conway bookending the story, but in the middle, it has legendary artists. Gil Kane's doing Green Lantern, Joe Kubert's doing Hawkman, just all these greats. Infantino doing The Flash. And then it comes back to George Perez, and it's a whole story. That's the great part about it. It's a whole story. Now, this is excellent. The Justice League 200 just squeaks out ahead of this one. And it's mostly because it's not one whole story. It has a lot of fantastic pinups, but that's just my opinion. And it's even got more artists on it. But let's take a look. This is 1984 came out. Joe Orlando, the legendary Joe Orlando. Look at that establishing shot. The Living Legends of Superman, and we go into pinup by Brian Boland. Brian Boland is. He had just recently started doing work at DC with Camelot 3000, which is fantastic. You got to get the collection. It's collected in many forms. I got my trade paperback signed by him back in 1991, and just amazing stuff. Another one of the many British creators that would end up at DC. Now this is late Jack Kirby, and it's inked by Terry Austin. Lucky man. That's just fun. Now we get a short story illustrated by Al Williamson, who he's been around a long time. He did adaptations of Return of the Jedi as well as something like that. Anyway, he did the Blade Runner adaptation. He's just an amazing artist. And it's a little side story. It's like this guy's telling a story of Superman, and he has this magic elixir, and kids doubting him. So he drinks it. Hey, that's good. I want 2 more bottles. So it's a hustle, but it's fun. John Byrne, well before he became Superman creator in charge in '86, which I never really was impressed with. That's just me. I liked after he left. I liked all the I don't know why. I felt like when he went to DC, he kind of used up all his tricks at Marvel. Jack Davis, legendary artist for not just Mad Magazine, but he's done a ton of commercial. He's done a lot of, not commercials. He's done a lot of advertising work that you would see. There was the one in 74, 75 where Dr. J was shooting a basketball, and people were asking him, what are you wearing, and blah blah blah. How do you get that? And he'd say some shoes or something like that. And he did a bunch of. Movie posters too, like for big time movies. So amazing cartoonist. Now we get to Frank Miller, still not deciding who he wants to be. This is in between. This is about the same time as Ronin, maybe. But then he was going to work on Dark Knight Returns, and that just gets it's okay. And I was a huge Miller fan for a long time. Then there's Leonard Starr working on Little Orphan Annie. Nice. I like the clouds, especially. It's really neat. Walt Simonson always delivers. Now, we got Marshall Rogers and Terry Austin, and man, oh man, look at that. The only artist Dusty Abel was an artist I worked with on a 4-issue miniseries called Superman, Wonder Woman, Whom Gods Destroy, and then we did a 3-part story in Legends of Dark Knight, and he's heavily influenced by Marshall Rogers as far as not being scared of doing heavy backgrounds. So it's just beautiful stuff. Then we go to Bernie Wrightson, 84. Wow. And now we go to Wendy Pini, who, with her husband Richard Pini, they started ElfQuest, which all the publishers rejected. They self-published, and it really built up some steam, and it got more and more popular. And then in around 87 or so, Marvel offered them the reprint rights to the early issues, so they ended up winning in the end, because they didn't really get, as a self-publisher, they didn't make that much money, but they were due. I love that name, Gaspar Saladino, longtime letterer, and Anthony Tollin, who I really, really appreciate. And we got Will Eisner, way up in age, but he's just as good as he was in the 40s. Last Son of Krypton. This is by Steve Lee Aloha, which I wish I'd seen more art from him. He's mostly an inker, but he's just got such great style. You get Steve Ditko, and you've got the bad guys there, and then the families he's protecting. A little long there at the hand. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter. Mike Grell. He was, at the time, he was starting John Sable freelance out at First Comics, and I really recommend that series. It lasted 50 issues, and then they relaunched it, and the relaunch sucked. It's not important. So now we go to another well-known inker who is also known for penciling and inking. He penciled and inked like the last year or more of Frank Miller's original run of Daredevil. Like the simplest breakdowns from Frank Miller, Klaus did magic on. So what happens is the sun comes by, and this is like a ceremony, like what they, Eye wears distinctive spectacles of Woodrow Wilson, Abraham Lincoln's top hat, and then they save a room at the table. I love that. Dad's kind of messing with him. And it's odd. They sort of treat Superman like he's God or something, because they leave an open table like the prophet, like Elijah, and they're just amazed that they get to see him, and he's stunned, and he's grateful, And one day in the 21st century, the Man of Steel just appeared out of nowhere, and each year, hoping he will return, we set an extra place at dinner for Superman. And look at that face. Love that. Other one too, and he takes off. Oh, and Jansen's coloring himself too. He's a fantastic colorist. I think this may be the first Western comic, like Marvel DC, art by Moebius. I think. I know he did a lot of stuff for Marvel later on, as well as DC. Well, we end this fantastic book with a story by Steranko. Look at that. The Exile at the Edge of Eternity. And it's a story that spans centuries. And it basically goes on with like the evolution of it starts with Superman, then there's wars. Look at those robots. I don't see anything like those. And also the lettering is amazing. I wonder if he typed it and cut and pasted or what, using those color holds like he did back in Nick Fury. And not to mention, speaking of Nick Fury, that was the last stuff I think Steranko fully dedicated himself to. I mean, he did what's it called, Homeland or something like that, Outlander, which was a movie that he did the adaptation for. And he doesn't do stories a lot. He does pinups. He did a lot of covers mostly for Marvel. So things are going on. Now it's new explorers. And look at that. At the very end, and his name was Adam McKent, had found his E. Dedicated to Julia Schwartz, gentleman, editor, and friend. A really great story if you read the whole thing. And here's Bill Sienkiewicz. And here's Jerry Robinson, one of the guys crucial to making Batman popular. And another Frank Miller piece that I find much more interesting. So anyway, I do have to redo a lot of my episodes because I deleted a bunch of them, and I don't really know why. It's too elaborate. It was just a dumb accident. Must have hit something like delete forever, and it wouldn't stop at one video. And but I'm going to continue. I'm going to redo those videos, but I'm going to sprinkle new episodes in between, so you don't feel like, oh, I've seen it already. I want to give you a reason to come back. I was really despondent over the deletion of some of my videos, self-caused. But people on the community board were very, very encouraging, as was my wife. And so there you go. This is the second best anniversary, because Justice League America 200 just wins by a nose. And so that's about it. And I'll probably have a third sometime soon. Please hit like and subscribe. And if you think somebody else would like to see this, share with somebody, and leave as many comments below as possible. Even if it's pro or con, I never delete them. Even if there's sometimes I might disagree with someone, but I'm not here to fight. It's all about the love of comics, and we're all under that same tent. Even if we have differences on certain things, it don't matter. Comics are like a safe haven. They've been all my life, and I'm sure they've been a lot of people's as well. So that's about it, and have a good day, and have a good weekend, which is coming up in 2 days. And I can't think of anything. I'm caught in a corner. I'm rambling now. I'm in a circle. All right, enjoy, everyone. Bye.